Good morning. Today is Tuesday, November 26th. I'm Rena Sherbel, filling in for the incomparable Julie Morgan. Our top stories today: Dow outshined NASDAQ and SP, crude oil and gold sink, and Trump preparing broad energy plan. Wall Street's major averages finished Monday on a positive note, where the Dow outshined both the NASDAQ and benchmark S&P 500. At the conclusion of the trading session, the Dow ended on top. Also closing in the green was the S&P 500 as it climbed 0.3%, and the NASDAQ finished the day higher as it picked up 0.27%. U.S. Treasury yields observed a move lower to start the week as two-year Treasury yields fell, as did the U.S. 10-year. Seeking Alpha's Ahan Vashi of the Quantamental Investor stated, despite Treasury bonds catching a bid after the nomination for U.S. Treasury Secretary, the broad equity market only managed to register a minor gain in Monday's session. Front-month gold futures fell Monday in the largest one-day decline by dollar amount since November 2020, as news of a potential ceasefire agreement between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon further undermined safe haven demand for the metal, as well as President-elect Trump's selection of his new Secretary of the Treasury. The drop stopped a five-session winning streak, StoneX analyst Fawad Razakzada said. Between falling safe haven demand and a hawkish repricing of U.S. interest rate cut expectations, gold's short-term outlook has turned moderately bearish. Even so, gold could still potentially rise to $3,000 an ounce in the slightly longer term. Crude oil futures fell sharply Monday as news grew of a ceasefire deal between Israel and Hezbollah, which would lower the risk of a broader Middle East war that could impact global oil supplies. UBS wrote in a note, "It seems the news of a ceasefire between Israel and Lebanon is behind the price drop, though no supply has been disrupted due to the conflict between the two countries, and the risk premium in oil has been low already before the latest price decline." Monday's losses followed last week's biggest weekly gains since September after Russia fired a hypersonic missile at Ukraine following strikes by Ukraine on Russia using long-range missiles from the US and UK for the first time. U.S. natural gas futures reversed Friday's losses as cold weather is seen extending into the first weeks of December. Reuters reported that President-elect Trump's transition team is preparing a wide-ranging energy package to roll out within days of taking office that would increase oil drilling off the U.S. coast and on federal lands and lift the moratorium on liquefied natural gas export permits that was put in place by the Biden administration. According to Reuters, Trump also plans to repeal some of Biden's key climate legislation and regulations, such as tax credits for electric vehicles and new clean power plant standards that aim to phase out coal and natural gas. Some headlines of note and stocks of interest around Seeking Alpha. Amazon Web Services has been awarded a nearly $160 million contract from the U.S. Army for cloud computer and storage services, with an estimated completion date of September 2028. Zoom beat expectations with Q3 earnings results, issued guidance that were better than expected, and said it's changing its name to Zoom Communications from Zoom Video. Enphase Energy finished up in Monday's trading, leading broad gains in most solar stocks after two members of the U.S. House submitted a resolution to suspend the Advanced Manufacturing Production Tax Credit and rewrite the legislation to prevent Chinese companies from receiving tax credits. SoFi Technologies continued gains for a seventh straight session as the stock closed higher at $15.70 on Monday. The stock has gained over 59% so far this year, outperforming the broader S&P 500 index's gain of over 25%. SoFi is up around 43% this past month. Enterprise Products Partners shares snapped 7 straight sessions of gains as the stock closed 1.5% lower at $32.34 on Monday. As for other stocks that we've seen on the move, shares of Hims and Hers Health popped 23.8% as the street appears to believe that President-elect Donald Trump's nomination for the U.S. FDA commissioner will be positive for drug compounders and companies that sell their products. In today's economic calendar at 9 a.m., Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Forecasters look for more slowing. Also at 9, we have the FHFA House Price Index, and at 10 a.m., Consumer Confidence. The consensus looks for consumer confidence to extend its recovery in November after its surprising rebound in October. Markets are focusing on consumer views of the job market, which improved markedly in October now that inflation worries have diminished. At 10 a.m., we also have new home sales, and at 2 p.m., those trusty FOMC minutes. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day.